Hello, thank you for getting me nice and dirty. Yes, that's awesome. Hi guys, welcome back. We're here in the baby stall, and you may have, or the baby pasture. You may have noticed there are no babies other than Lady. Hi, Lady. That's because they are all still in the stall, eating, munching, having breakfast, but it's so dark and overcast. It's kind of no fun to take video here, but look at that swarm. Oh, and now you see Misty's kids. Hi, buddy. This is one of Sock Monkey's babies. Hi. He always likes his camera close up. It's important. Oh, we got some drinking going on. So Misty's babies are now in the mix thoroughly and significantly. Like that doling is trying desperately. She's got plenty of access. Don't worry. There's plenty of hay there. There's more hay there than they should all be able to eat, which is why they're still in their stall. But her babies, who last week were still only semi-interested in hay, are now pretty much in there fully interested. And they're right there in the mix with the babies. Hi, girlfriend. You all done? You get your full? So, as we progress through the weeks, these guys are growing up. Look, he's just going to eat it right out of mom's face. He decided he wasn't going to fight for hay anymore. He'll just pull it out of mom's face. Typical kid. Whoops, wrong direction, because my skills as a videographer are awesome. And Ren's doling is still the one-piece wonder, one giant piece of hay at a time, and we'll take that away and work on it. So guys, if you're new here, welcome back. It's Racing for Home Farm, where the animals clearly rule the schedule, and I try and keep up, but not so much. Nothing here is scripted. Everything is completely unplanned, and we kind of get what we get, but the critters are cute, and it makes up for it, doesn't it? I know you are in my face. So just a morning check-in with everybody. It's hard, like I said, when they're all swarming like locusts, but we talked the other day about Fanta shedding, and why I'm not as worried about her cashmere as I am about others, and why, I got Denali done early, and, wanted to get some of the goats done that cashmere doesn't fall off of. If you look at her back, this is how it should shed. Of course, if they don't have, long hair for it to catch in, it just slowly releases and falls off. And so she is looking like a sheep right now, with a lot of this cashmere just hanging off of her. But it is naturally moving through. She doesn't have a coat per se for it to catch on. So this is how cashmere would naturally shed. And why I say, the maintenance on these guys is minimal. Denali, are you helping rub it off? Because it does happen naturally. The reason we brush and we comb and we groom is, one, again, getting them show ready, but two, because that cashmere can, as it moves down the shaft of that longer hair, like in the case of Denali, who has hair down to the ground, her cashmere is still releasing, but since we've brushed her, it's now moving pretty smoothly down, but it can still catch vegetation, bedding. I mean, I don't know if you can see her through the fence, but she's got bedding on her. Is it stuck? No. If she shakes, it would all release. But as that cashmere moves down that shaft of the hair, it catches on that piece of bedding, and suddenly, in 2 seconds flat, you've kind of got a little tangle, and that cashmere is no longer moving, and then it just becomes a place where it collects junk. And that's what I'm brushing out when I'm on the stand with them. And that's why Fanta is kind of last on my totem pole, unfortunately, in terms of grooming, because her cashmere, since she has no long coat, will just move through without help. So I was hoping to get some done today, and the weather may cooperate. I don't know if it will. Right now it's beautiful, but 10 seconds ago it was overcast and looking like rain. And it rained overnight, and they're calling for rain today. And it's chilly, but it's pretty. The donkeys are out enjoying their pasture. They are way out there again. They are really enjoying themselves out there. And the pig pasture, you may have noticed, has greened up nicely. It doesn't get grass anymore because they literally rip it out at the roots. So it's mostly weeds, to be fair. And last year, of course, we had a surprise pumpkin / gourd patch. We'll see if that comes back this year. Right now, it's mostly weeds. And that's fine because they chew on that. They munch on that. There's nothing, they don't need this for nutrition, right? It's more about entertainment, supplement, environment, enrichment. So having this kind of wild pasture here works for us. They dig it up. They're snoodling in the mud and the dirt for bugs and grubs and all the yummies that are underneath. So they're constantly kind of turning over that soil, maintaining a grass pasture. Oh yeah, I almost tripped over the baby goat. Maintaining that grass pasture would be and is fairly impossible. So we've let it go to whatever decides to grow in here. And that works, right? The pigs kind of like the little flowers, and I like the pretty little flowers while they last. So for now, we've got pretty little yellow flowers. We don't appear to have any vines yet, thankfully, but we'll see if vines start to show up. And we'll see if gourds and pumpkins show up again. Squash, all sorts of things. Isn't that right, Miles? I'm talking about you. So that's about the status of the farm right now. Hugo, as always, is back in action. He's very content to be back on the farm. Tonka's doing his thing. And I keep tripping over a baby goat because she has got to be underfoot all the time. I know you and your little waggy tail. You and your little waggy tail. So she's doing great. She's integrated just fine. She's eating hay, which is nice. Next week, we'll start to dial her bottles back slightly. So right now, she's getting 3 bottles a day, 8 ounces per bottle. We'll dial that back in the morning to just 6 ounces next week. We'll leave the other 2. So, we're not exactly weaning her fast. It's a gradual wean. And we do it strategically. So if I wean her morning bottle, she's a little bit more hungry while there's hay in the stall, while she can join the other kids and mirror them and eating it. And she is sort of doing that now, but her belly's full. So she's eating a little piece at a time. She doesn't really need to eat hay. So we want to start to encourage that slightly. Again, she's 6 weeks, going on 7 weeks. So she's reaching that age where it's time to start weaning. We'll drop that bottle next week, again, 2 ounces. And then probably 3 or 4 days later, we'll drop the afternoon bottle by those same 2 ounces. So that'll take her down by 4 total ounces out of the 24 she's getting, right? So again, not a huge drop, not a big depletion of her nutrition in any way, shape, or form, just a gradual wean. By taking the afternoon bottle away, or reducing it, I shouldn't say taking away, reducing it by a few ounces, she should be hungry at dinner time when the next big hay feed happens and start to really go looking for that as her, as some food because she's hungry. Then she'll get her nighttime bottle. That'll be the last bottle to get pulled away, right? That's a nighttime comfort. It warms her belly. It keeps her full while she's sleeping, right? There's all those things because she doesn't have a mama to snuggle with, although she does get into the baby goat cuddle puddle. So, we're about, what's today? Today's Thursday. So we'll probably start weaning her Sunday-ish, which is about a week after she joined the herd here. And again, very slow, very gradual. Over the next 4 weeks or so, we will reduce an ounce or 2 here or there strategically, and only do it when we're comfortable that she's not hungry, right? That she is actually taking the reduced volume of milk and using that space in her belly and her hunger perhaps to transition it to hay. And we watch for that. So we'll talk about that, I'm sure, again, because I talk about everything multiple times because I'm boring that way. But I think that's it for this morning. Oh, Voodoo's having a little tinkle, so you get a perfect show stance from them when they have a little tinkle. There you go. That's why Mr. Man there was the show winner. And I think with that, we'll call it a morning. And until next time, I've got work to do. Bye for now.